Yeah, actually, I'd like to see that film. We don't have to review it. I just might go see it. Maybe without you, because you don't seem to want to see it at all.
No, I'm up for watching it.
Oh, okay.
I just think it looks awful. Hello, I'm Chris.
And I'm Tom.
And you're watching That Review Show. And today we're going to talk about George Miller's latest romantic comedy in which an unlikely couple share a car ride across the country and eventually fall in love. Tom,
Yeah,
what did you think of Mad Max?
it was great. It was really fun. And if you don't like it, you're not fun.
Cool.
Yeah, the things I particularly liked about it were the visual design and everything about that. The very assured way it went about just being itself. And yeah, it was just fun.
It was good and pacey. It was fun. The film was basically one long chase scene, and the action all drove the story forwards. Not that there was really that much story to drive. It's a very simple plot, but
It did what The Hobbit couldn't do, which was tell the story of there and back again. Which is actually the subtitle of The Hobbit.
yeah, it told a story of people going somewhere. And about 15 minutes into the film, I looked at my watch and realised we were actually an hour into the film, and that's obviously a good sign. I was obviously engrossed
Oh, that's
by
it. Never noticed any time passing, just sort of was part of it, watched it, went along with it.
Yeah, I mean, if I had two issues with the film. One small issue and one big issue, which I think keeps me from absolutely loving it.
Go on, talk about the issues.
Okay, so my small issue was the first fight scene between Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron, which I just felt went on for too long. You knew that they were going to end up working together as a team, and therefore the fight scene was kind of pointless, except to establish the fact that Charlize Theron was kind of badass.
I don't know, I was able to suspend my disbelief more then, because I just watched it, like, oh yeah, this is cool, oh, she's smashing a thing to get the Glock off, and then there's a bullet in the chamber, and just things happening, and I was engrossed by it. I suppose, looking back, yes, it was longer than it needed to be.
Yeah.
But no, it was fine.
I just felt, I don't know, I guess the film starts so kind of frenetic, and it was just odd, because I felt that an action scene slowed it down. The big issue I had with it was I just didn't really like Max very much.
See, I loved Max, and that's it. I mean, a lot of critics and newspapers, just stuff before I saw the film in media, were saying that this film is more about Charlize Theron and he's hardly part of it. And I don't actually agree. I don't know. I was really engrossed in his performance. See, it was watching for those moments and then really enjoyed the Max side of things.
I agree with that statement that he wasn't the main character, and I don't have a problem with him not being the main character. However, it is supposed to be it's Mad Max.
No, it's a story in which he is an agent.
Yeah, but I just wanted him to maybe just a few more lines here and there, and also
lines.
I don't know what his accent was supposed to be doing, but it was all over the place, and also he was doing the "I'm a gruff hero" voice.
Again, I never noticed any deviation from whatever accent he was doing. It was an odd accent, and I enjoyed the voice. All things about his performance were interesting. I thought he was great, really fun.
Yeah, I guess that was the thing for me. Max wasn't fun. I mean, I don't need an action hero to have one-liners and witty dialogue, but it would have just been nice to have something a bit more than just...
Okay, so him searching the truck with great comedy scene.
That was fun.
Him going off into the night like in Seven Samurai and coming back with the equipment. That was super fun.
Yeah, but these are all things that weren't really... His acting wasn't particularly involved in them. One of those was him walking away from the camera and then walking back towards it a bit later on.
I think his acting's involved in all of this. It's the way Tom Hardy acts, isn't it? He's a very physical actor. You've got him doing loads of stuff on the outside of the carts, being strapped to them. There was lots of fun with Mad Max, I felt, really. I think it would be unfair.
I just found him dull. I just wasn't interested in him at all. I was more invested in Charlize Theron's character, which was
Ripley.
Imperator
Furiosa, which means Furious Emperor.
Yeah. I found her more interesting, and I don't have a problem with her really being the main character and Max just being a side piece, but he was, didn't do it for me.
Yeah, she was a good character. Was this film, as one media outlet claimed, feminist propaganda?
No.
One of the things I really liked about the film was how it seemed to incorporate a lot of ideas that we consider modern, very 2015 thinking, particularly with regards to bodily deformity not even being really referenced at all in the film, though it's everywhere. Mm-hmm. That being just part of the patchwork of the film, I really enjoyed,
Yeah, actually, come to think of it, apart from kind of the chase party, almost all the characters in the film are women.
The war boys are, all, of course, male.
Yeah.
That's it. Charlize Theron's side, all women. I hadn't thought of that. It's not making a statement, though, not overtly. It's wonderful, though. I mean, the use of women generates the stakes for both parties. So you've got, Imperator Furiosa trying to save these women from sex slavery, but then you've also got the sort of the sadness of the baddie at one point where, he loses one of them and he's really, really upset.
The sex slaves are all actually fairly capable.
Yes.
I think they all have a hand in helping the escape in some way.
Yeah, loading weapons and...
Yeah, and then the biker gang later on in the film is entirely comprised of old women.
Older women, yeah.
But again, like you say, it's not like a statement, and no one ever comments, because there's obviously Max is along for the ride.
Yeah.
There's never any comment of like, oh, why are these all women? It's just kind of like, oh, okay.
And I think part of the art and craft of this, and the reason why people are saying it's the messiah of films, is because they've done that without you thinking, oh, this is odd at any point either. There was never a point where I was like, oh, they're all women. I just sort of went, okay, these characters are really good. I get it. I understand what's going on. There was never any of that for me, that's great.
Yeah.
Tell a story, don't shove anything too much in your face and make it fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
And speaking of which, just quickly, it's a great film in terms of show, don't tell. Just giving you the information through the visuals, the music. There's not a huge amount of dialogue from anyone, really. And I suspect Max says less than Ryan Gosling does in Drive.
Probably about the same, I think.
I don't know.
Maybe less, yeah.
Because for the first half of the film, he just grunts. He doesn't actually say anything.
You might be right. There are occasional calm scenes where you actually get to hear the real score rather than the mad guitarist on the truck. But yeah, where there's expository dialogue normally between Furiosa and Max.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where all the dialogue is in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost everything is established through what you see and what's happening, which is just right for this genre of film.
It is a very Mad Max film. If you watch the old Mad Maxes, particularly the first scene of Mad Max 2, there's a kind of an ambush scene that goes on for about 5 minutes long. Not a word spoken at all. But it sets up so much and it tells you so much about all the characters in the world.
Yeah.
Really effectively, and obviously George Miller hasn't lost his touch when it comes to that.
Maybe he was watching Jurassic Park and he saw the seatbelt scene and was like, I'm going to make Jurassic Park better than Jurassic World.
Yeah, which wouldn't be too hard. But no, I mean, he's honed his craft with, the Happy Feet films.
I'm just confused about what I meant by all that. But
Well, I guess what you're saying is that we learned so much about Sam Neill's character from the fact that he can't do up the
and we learn
helicopter buckles.
Almost everything in this film about everyone from just what they're doing, and how they act.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your name?
So there was lots of fun to be had in this film.
Yeah, particularly I remember you giggling all the time every time the guitarist turned up. And yeah, there was a moment of just surrealism and silliness that I really appreciated. It's good.
Many little moments, many little details. They're almost kind of throwaways, but were really just made you giggle.
Yeah, and it's just full of stuff like that, isn't it? Loads of just stuff that makes you smile, stuff that's good, stuff that's fun, stuff that's interesting to look at.
I guess that's the thing. I guess that's why this is probably the best film I've seen in the cinema since Birdman. And it was just that it was fun.
Yeah, it was a movie.
Yeah.
It was a proper film. It wasn't dicking around. It just told a story and it was great.
Yeah, well, so shall we then say, or shall we ask ourselves, was Mad Max Fury Road worth the ticket price, Tom?
Yes, go and watch it.